I must say, I didn't do much. I got fully involved in Ghost of Yote the last days, and while I have my online training for the higher qualification every Tuesday and Thursday, other than that, I'm basically just chilling out the last days of my vacation. Have you thought about the last talk we had? Have you had time to like sort of reevaluate or just think sort of in more detail about your goals? I actually have news. I finished two, like, there's these online courses you can take at like sort of like any type of university usually has like an online hub where you can take some courses, and you can get like certificates for them if you pay extra. So you can like do the course for free, but if you want to have the actual certificate, then you need to pay. So I don't have the certificate yet. I didn't decide whether I want to support capitalism in that way or not. But I finished two of those courses actually. One was about the general concept of like counseling, and the other one, I still don't like the word. Like I feel like it has such a bad perception in our society. And the second one is stress management. And now I'm starting with like a bigger course, which is about like psychology in general. So I'm so, oh no, what happened? What is this? Ay. So I'm sort of getting into it. Yeah, maybe I need to fix that later. I'm not that happy with work at the moment, as I think the leadership isn't entirely enough structured. Kinda sucks because it brings so much bad vibes into the colleagues. So everyone is stressed and is getting sick. Don't like some changes, etc. Kinda annoying, but I like one colleague and just do stuff with him in our free time. Yesterday I was going with him to the lake and we just talked for hours. It was amazing. Yeah, actually, you sort of like found a person you can talk to. That's good to hear. Considering you're more of the like solo player person, apart from that. With the management, do you think there's like a like, I don't know, like it's really annoying, right? But like some bosses apparently are like really like those things being pointed out because they sort of like lost touch with the rest of the workers. But I don't know, it sort of like always highly depends on the boss. Like some bosses are also like really touchy about any type of negative feedback. So I don't know. Like, do you think there's like some that like something's being able to like changed or like talk about or bring up or something, like that there's a possibility for feedback on this? Because I mean, if it influences like a lot of the colleagues, then I feel like it's maybe worth a shot. But of course, depends. I did? Oh, nice, Naradim. Or at least I think I did. I'm not stressing out about that stuff anymore. But I kind of want to make a list of the day with smaller stuff I want to do that day. For the greater stuff, I'm kind of honing in on one stuff, and after that is finished, I'll start the next thing. So for now, that would be the qualification thing, because everything else kind of works automatically at the moment. That's good. Have you sort of noticed, like, have you noticed how there's like a change of the pressure you feel, or no? Like, do you still sometimes feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough? Or have you sort of, has this like decision already, sort of like gone gone to your heart and you actually like feel like, okay, no, this is fine, and you've made your peace with your new approach. I think I call like Zach, for example, I also call a solo player. It doesn't mean that he's playing a single player game, because as we all know, life is not a single player game. But Zach sometimes plays as if he was playing like sort of like League as like a solo player, like League and low elo. And it doesn't really mean that he's like always playing like this. But it sort of describes this like different level of like cooperation, and not only cooperation, because then it's like cooperation is usually interpreted in this way that like to work on something that you like stand sort of in the way because you don't cooperate. That's not really what I mean. What I mean is that you don't either use resources around you which are there. So, for example, you don't talk to friends which would be there to help you. You don't use those resources because you yourself decide either like I'm a burden, or they don't understand, or like all of these like different sort of like monologues which can go on around this. And sort of the second thing is that, and that is, I think, that's more with Zach, I think. Or like for him at least, one of those things is as well that he doesn't. He's like really insecure about sort of like connecting to others. And that sometimes also leaves him to like do things alone, even though he didn't like need to, just because he was like sort of like insecure for asking, or just sort of like couldn't really make up his mind, and then was stuck with, well, with not including the other person. So I don't know how that maybe portrays is already in like little things, like we walk here next to each other, and then he like stands up and says like, I'm gonna go make some food, or I'm gonna go eat. But it doesn't mean that he's like making food for both of us or anything, you know? It's like sort of like he doesn't even ask if we want to eat together, or if, I don't know, if we want to cook something together, or like any of that, right? So it's sort of already this like statement where technically there's an implied question there, because if it were only a statement, he wouldn't share it out loud, right? Because it only influences him. I don't need to do anything. So sharing it out loud doesn't really make sense if it's only a statement. So technically there's like a hidden question in there of like, now you know what I want to do, and you will ask if you want to join, right? But it's like there's too much insecurity to like ask for himself. And those are the moments when he's like a solo player. He like, there's like insecurity standing between him and actually integrating himself and engaging with others. At the moment, not really, but to be honest, I really don't think about it, because even if I can't do one of the smaller things that day, I'll just take it over for the next day, because it will not break my neck if something doesn't get done on day one. Alright. I think it's usually nicer to make goals you can like surely achieve, and then have like more like the working, like even like having more in this list of like, if I'm really good, then I'm also gonna achieve this, because it has like a different meaning to it, right? Because it essentially like shifts the way of like, oh, I have to do all these things and I might not get all of this done, to I am enough because I get all of this always done. And then I'm maybe like even better because I do extra things. But it sort of depends on the person. So if that's like already like a good approach for you, then just try it, I guess. But if you notice that this sort of the inner voice of like, oh, I'm not doing enough, I'm procrastinating, like things pile up. There's like more pressure piling up with that as well. Then just know this might need adjustment still. Because, I don't know, to me at least, this way of thinking is sort of like, it doesn't come from nowhere, right? Like it's something you develop because you learned it and you trained it. And so it's like sort of like hard to beat. And in the beginning it can feel like, oh yeah, I like easily change it with this and that. But then it sort of like still remains. Just it sort of like changed the area or got into like on a smaller level, but like it's still there. So I guess what I'm just trying to say is like try to be aware of like if that comes up again. And then like sort of notice and find out how you can make it better for yourself. I already told my bosses that I don't like the changes, they won't work how they think they will. Now everyone just gets sick and nothing works anymore because they didn't listen. I meanwhile do my own shit at work to don't get stressed and just see everyone around panicking. Like the meme of the dog who sits in a burning room and says it's fine. Those things are really stressful though. Like, I think it must be like really hard to be in an environment where like everyone around you is like panicking to like not panic yourself. No? Or is that like easier for you? I don't share much personal stuff, but I do not think it's based on insecurity. No, that's also what I do. Like, well, actually, now that I think about it, could be, but I didn't expect it in that was the part where I sort of meant like this more about like how Zach is like turning into solo player. I think you're more of the person you don't want, like, you don't use the resources around you. So simply don't talk much. Some people are confused if they don't instantly get an answer. What do you mean some people are confused if they don't instantly get an answer? How does this connect to the sentence before? Because it doesn't seem like talking about feelings, for example, would be something where people need answers instantly. But I kind of mean the things where there's still like outside stuff that can get in between. For example, my laundry, I know that I can't turn on the machine after 7 p.m. because I know my neighbors will go crazy because of the vibration. Oh no, my washing machine stands against the wall. What, they have the living room behind? Oh damn. There's these there's like puffers for this though, right? Like, I don't know. How do you actually like call them? But like you know what I mean, right? Like they're sort of like mats you can use to like put the washing machine like on, so it like less vibrates. I guess you can also put that against the wall, for example. Like, or like you probably tried that, but what are the walls then? Like, that sounds really wild. That the washing machine is that loud. Yeah, exactly. It's like isolation mat or whatever, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, if it's only about like small things like those, I definitely also I don't really have a plan for these. Like, my plan is essentially like usually um just like it's like three things for the entire month, like three bigger things I work on. And then sort of like the rest of the so it's like three bigger like new things I work on. Um which was, for example, doing like this course I did, but it was only one, so now I already like overachieved on that goal. And then the other one was like finishing one of those like shelves, because I really wanted to get that done. Um, and actually another one I didn't have for this month yet. Uh, but usually I have like three goals like these. And then I have the goals which sort of like keep me in green. So, which are just sort of like keeping like a healthy daily routine. So, and actually I wrote on this yesterday. Let me, there's my phone. Um, so, oh, oops. So my general goals, for example, I noticed that they are actually like, they make real sense. So the things I sort of like need to stay in green are many different things. But I can put them into like a lot of different groups, and then it sort of makes sense why I need all of those groups. So, for example, my general goal is to read or learn or study more about psychology or society, or like it doesn't necessarily need to be psychology specifically, but just like learning about something. And this is sort of like the intellectual growth, progress sort of group of like things I want to do. Then I sort of have like my purpose group, which is sort of like this stream, but it doesn't technically need to be the stream, but it's like be there for people, help people. And this can, for example, be the podcast, be the stream, be just like being there for somebody like here in the community, or making like a really like nice post or whatever, where I talk about something. Just like creating something of value, sort of like, and not only like creating it, so like making something of value for society, I guess. Like that's sort of like the purpose group. And then I have like, for example, like crochet or like do like household chores or like handiwork like this, which is sort of like, but handiwork like this is not really it actually. Like it's more like household chores and like crochet. And this is into the like, this is the flow sort of group, which is like I do something where I don't really need to think about it, but I can just like it's something I physically do where the expectations are really clear in my head and I just know what I need to do. It's like an easy task. And but it's like physical. It's like I do like something. I don't need to move like a lot, but like somewhat. And then there's like gym, bouldering, yoga, whatever, which is like physical movement, like exercise. Then I have like friends. Okay. The postman just threw something for like whatever. It was super loud. Then we have like friends, D&D, painting minis, board games, like all of those things are things I do with friends, so it's like social. For example, also gaming. And then I have nature and meditation, which is like feeling grounded, sort of like getting back to roots. Then just actually one of those groups is also like, for example, like intimacy or like connection, just like genuine connection. which is just like the love group, like feeling like really well connected to somebody. This can be, well, this can go from like actual intimacy to just like a really, really nice deep talk with somebody, you know? But it's just like this like feeling of like intense connection. I guess sometimes stream also is that. And then I just have like creative stuff. For example, like the Minecraft tutorials I was making, or the merch I'm making, and this sort of stuff. Like anything I do like this, or like the emotes and the like D&D dice, all of those things are just like creative stuff. So the groups I have are intellectual, purpose, flow, physical, like exercise, essentially, social, grounded, love, and creative, or like connection, I guess, and creativity. And those are the things I need to keep doing to stay in like a green area, to feel good about myself, to continuously do stuff to be healthy mentally and physically. So I have all of those things. Then I have 3 goals, which are just something like physical to like do. Like, for example, like do this course, or like finish that shelf. And then there's sort of like within these like general goals, there's also like spontaneous stuff, right? So example, with the physical things, like I don't need to go to the gym all the time. I can also go bouldering. I could also do like play tennis with like friends and stuff like this. Like with the social part of it, like we could play like board games, D&D. We could just like go for a walk. Like it doesn't really matter. So there's like a lot of room still to really sort of like attach it to my life in that moment, and to really live the life I am living right now, and not to force myself into a structure which is independent of, for example, like winter, autumn, like season or weather or stuff like this. Like this is all adjustable to time of the year, to how I feel, to like all of this. This is sort of how like the goals I have, I guess. So it's definitely like some of those categories are like more ambiguous. So it's not that I have like a plan for like every single thing or something. That's not it. But there's like sort of like guidelines, I guess. I go with, if that sort of explains it. Yeah. Actually, I guess one of those general goals, but I didn't put it here. Maybe it goes with like nature meditation or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it's not on here. It's, for example, having like a clean space to live in. That's just, yeah. I guess rest is not one of those goals. And like the clean place to live in is, I guess, also rest. Or just good sleep. But yeah, I guess those are the things which you like usually do right. So that's why I didn't think of them. So it just gets uncomfortable to always have stress around me, even if it doesn't affect me much. But it is a reason for people to go elsewhere. I like my work and the people are fine, but the leadership really sucks. I don't understand how this one person could have gotten into this position. Maybe vitamin B? Who knows? But yeah, I can imagine. Is there like a boss of that boss or something? To do like a real Karen move? I don't know. But I bet. Do you think if it keeps going this way, then like so many people leave that maybe like your work doesn't feel the same anymore, or like your job won't be available anymore? I could end his career if I wanted. Okay. I mean, I don't know, like if he's really bad, like you know? You told him. If he just ignores the needs of his employees, things happen, you know? I don't know. I don't think it's like... Well, I don't know why you could like end his career if you wanted to, right? So I don't know like what exactly you mean by that. But if it's something he did, what's like for a reason can end his career, and for like a good reason, because it's, for example, I don't know, like personnel safety neglect or something, I don't think we should keep people from their consequences. I genuinely, I sort of like don't believe in it. Like I feel like there should be like warnings first, of course. But if, for example, with that safety neglect, I don't know, like he got a warning beforehand, and then he still chose to do so, I feel like he was aware of the consequences and he opted in for those. So like, you know, it's sort of like low-key would be unfair to like keep the feedback from him, because it's like how we learn, right? Like we learn from mistakes, and if you keep feedback away from people and keep their mistakes away from them and the consequences they have, it's like they don't really learn that it was a mistake. And I genuinely feel like that's... I don't know. I think it's... Some people on this planet have had too little consequences. And that's why they don't really get how life works. And that's why they are then later on in life not independent. Because they don't know how to deal with consequences, because they never had to deal with them before. And now all of a sudden, when those consequences actually have like hold any value to them, because like in school usually like consequences are like not that bad. But then like later on they need to like all of a sudden handle consequences, and now they don't know how to. It's like way harder to learn. And I don't know. I don't think it's mean to... I don't know. Yeah. Exactly. Like I feel like learning to handle consequences is empowering. Because once you find out that you can't, and there's nobody who will handle those consequences for you, you won't do anything which might hold consequences. Or you will be rolled by the consequences if they do happen to come around. So I don't know, like I don't think we should be mean about this. Like I don't think that we should let people just run into consequences without like telling them, because it can always be the case that you just like oversaw something, you know? So I think like if we can just give them a heads up, but like with that heads up, if they still want to like do that because they, for example, don't listen to you or don't believe you or whatever, let them run. Let them find out. If they're so confident, find out. Surprise me, please. And the other thing is, I think there should be the possibility definitely to like, if you have consequences now, to ask for help. Like I don't think the help should be you take now full responsibility of my consequences, but the help can be just, you know, like I feel like asking for support in a moment of need is something we should learn. And it's something where we also should learn that it's like people don't really mind usually, and it's like you shouldn't like overdo it or anything. You shouldn't be like, oh no, like weaponized incompetence, I don't know what to do, fix it for me. But I feel like we should learn that there's like people who can help us carry those consequences, or like help guide us how to handle those consequences best. I guess the guidance is more like the help I think we can definitely like ask for, or like just sort of like very specific help where it's like you still have the responsibility yourself, you know, and you realize that this is like not optimal, but it's okay once in a while, sort of. But I tend to go overboard with this. Oh, I like the reap, but I only bring the reap for everyone. Oh, okay. um, well, I mean, is there a way how you cannot go overboard with this? You know? Like, if you're aware of this, like, balance can be learned. Hmm. Exactly. Like, it's genuinely like it's sort of the topic we had in one of the last streams as well. It was one of those things I read in that book. How was it called? The Drama of the Gifted Child, where there was this example of sort of like this very complicated example of a mother getting a son, and having gone through sexism and having like fearing sexism is basically unconsciously keeping her son in a dependent position to her, to not feel like to be sure that her son can't oppress her like other men can. And this is all like entirely unconscious, which is sort of like this book is sort of about how like parents like usually have baggage which is unconscious, and if you aren't aware of that baggage, you will sort of like let it out on your child, and your child will, well, take it on and have those expectations and fulfill those expectations. So with this mother, for example, because she fears sexism and she got a son and she doesn't want to be in that oppressed state to her son, and because she has now the authority over that kid, is unconsciously using that authority to maintain that authority, to make a system where she maintains that authority so that her son can never oppress her, because she always has like something to like put him back in place, which is, for example, can be like just like taking your love away, or can be to make him incompetent, to make him dependent on you. So, i.e., like always like washing his laundry, cooking for him, all of those things, because if he can't cook and if he can't do his laundry, even if he lives somewhere else, he will like once a month, or like maybe even more, like if he lives closer by, like even if he lives somewhere else, he will still come to you to get all of these things done, because he can't do them and he never learned how to, and usually also low-key discouraged to do them. And then later on, exactly this sort of switches from like the son now is like either he's like at some point when he finds a wife, he's like switching to that wife to fulfill these tasks, and now he's dependent not on his mother anymore but on his wife, because like she's cooking and she's cleaning and doing laundry and all of those things. And like once, like if she would ever like go on vacation like alone, like it's this typical story of this like dude who's eating like the same dish the entire week and is like begging for his wife to come back because he's starving low-key. And the other thing which can happen is if the mother at some point is like not able to do these tasks anymore, and he doesn't have a wife, that he's just falling into this hole of, I can't take care of myself, and I don't know how to. Like, I only learned weaponizing competence. I don't know how to actually be competent. And, well, these are usually the ones which then get really angry at women and are like, oh yeah, fuck women, and like they should like be our slaves again, and they shouldn't have rights and whatever. And because they desperately need a woman. They desperately need a woman. And because they couldn't pull anyone, they're like, I need a system in place which basically guarantees me a woman who will fulfill these tasks. Because I can't do them, and there's no chance of me doing them. Like, I need a woman who does so. Which, of course, if we look at this, is extremely problematic. And especially also extremely problematic for that dude, right? Because like we can look at this example and be like, oh yeah, well, he should just like stop whining and learn all those things. But like if you go into that perspective of that man and he has been discouraged to learn those things, and there's maybe even like a little bit of toxic masculinity like put into this, where it's like basically like unmanly to know cooking and to actually be able to cook and like these sort of stuff. And he never learned how to actually solve a problem on his own like that. It's a lot. And if it's then also connected, for example, with this picture of you can only do things you're good at, and you can never like, that you don't have this motivation to start new things because like, oh, then you would be bad at them in the beginning. So you never start new things. You only do the things when you're either like a natural in them or you have been doing them, and that's why you sort of just keep doing them. You will also just never learn new skills, and it will be super scary to learn new skills because you will be bad at them in the beginning. You will have messed up laundry, so you rather pay for like a laundry service. And if you can't pay for this laundry service, well, it's like, it's a problem, you know, like this is something where this is scary. Like this situation is scary you're in. Especially because you usually can't talk to anyone about this, because if you are in this circle and if you have those friends which sort of like make fun of you for like being bad at something and make fun of you for like doing household chores and stuff like this, I mean, there's literally like sometimes in society, we literally blame men for having like a nice looking apartment. Where it's like, are we crazy? Yes, confirmed. We are. Because this is something good, right? Like we blame them for being unmanly because they actually can take care of themselves. Like, are we crazy? Or like, because the dish of like they cooked looks like really well, then like all of a sudden they're gay. Okay? Like a man can cook for himself and now he's gay. Oh, all right. That makes sense. Yeah. Like we rather have like men who starve. That's really manly. Like manly is starving. Yeah. And like it's thankfully society is changing, right? So we have like a lot in society where this is absolutely not the case. By the way, thank you for the follow. Almost Galactus. Welcome. So we have a lot of space in society where this is not the case. But usually the spaces where this is the case are really like encapsulated, and there's a hard wall to the outside. Because it's genuinely low-key like an extremist group. Like it works the same, like the mechanism is sort of the same. Like you always blame the people around. So like anybody who's doing better than the people in this circle is like either they're gay or they're like unmanly or they never get bitches, or like you find reasons to like hate them and dislike them and to humiliate them. So you need to stay in this circle, and then usually what keeps you in this circle is if your parents and your family in this is in this circle. Because these are like really, really important connections to you. Like breaking free of those connections is really hard, right? Like I noticed that with my dad. Like thankfully, like not everybody like that is in my family, but also with my mom, like the connection with her is like low-key has been toxic, and like it still stayed because like, bro, there's my sisters. as well. Like, I can't break contact off with my mum and then not have contact with my sisters anymore. Like, there's connections to this, right? And especially if you then don't earn a lot, it's like you might actually be financially dependent on them as well. So there's like even less of a chance to actually get out of this capsule. So you're dependent on these people in this capsule liking you. And then it's like genuinely like, that's fucked up. And there's like, it's so hard to get out of there. And because you can't even like, you can't talk to anybody with them like around like, oh, can you show me how to wash your laundry? Can you show me how to cook this? Can you show me like, can you give me the recipe even? No. So the only chance you essentially have is living like an imposter within that group and like learning these tasks on your own, and then essentially like at the end probably breaking free of this group because you don't want to be like them. But I don't know, like it's tough. Like it's tough to learn all these things. Especially if there's like so much shame and blame surrounding this. Like I feel like honestly we should have low-key, I feel like we should have courses to like free community center courses to empower specifically like men like these, to show them how to like properly cook, how to eat proper nutritions, to like, you know, like show them how to make laundry, all of these things. Not only show them all of this, but also like break the stigma around it at the same time. And I don't know, like you need to make it in a way where it's like accessible for them. So it's somehow you need to advertise it as like as manly. So I feel like maybe you start with it's like a barbecue cooking course or something, because barbecue is manly, I think, for those toxic, like even for toxic masculinity men, I think barbecues actually is a men's job. In that group, right? So I think maybe this is like a way to go about this, but the easier way to go about this would be just to give therapists, like to have therapists in school, to have the option to talk to a therapist in school. Because as a kid, it's usually like kids have the drive to be independent and autonomous. So they usually also have like a lot of frustration if they can't be autonomous or independent. So I think if you would have like a therapist in school where those kids could go to and be like, hey, my mom doesn't let me do like all of those things. And then you maybe have a talk with the mom and I'm like, yeah, you know, like kids need to learn consequences actually. Like, I don't know, I think it maybe could help. But yeah. How do we go in this? Ah, yeah, with the consequences, exactly. It's like a profile I do of a person, and I can share that or not share it, but it's hard to put some confidentiality clauses in there. Oh, well. You do you. Maybe there's also other options. Maybe there's options of like getting your co-workers to also complain about the new changes. And if you guys are many enough, they'll change them back, maybe, hopefully. Who knows? But yeah. Humus Galactus, you want to take part in a mental health check-in? And welcome to the stream. I try my best with not Scorch Earth level options. I think that's not a bad idea. I mean, you never know when you see the person again, right? Kind of reminds me of one of my ex-girlfriends. She lived a long time with her parents because of her studies. Inherently, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but her mom did everything for her and she never learned the basics. So when she moved out and in with me, she didn't know any basic house stuff. After the whole learning process, she actually found out she liked to bake. So not only did her mom keep her kind of incompetent, but also never let her learn what she liked to do. Yeah. That's the other thing, right? Like, even if it doesn't hinder you to a connection to another human, because what also like plays a role, like with the example that like is in that book that I talked about, right? It's like there's sort of like a hidden resentment too, and it's sort of like an entitlement to those things too. So it makes it like actually like really like harder to find somebody, right? So like, and also actually to like take the step to like get out of it, because you first need to see that you're missing something and that this is not the way it should be, right? So I'm glad you're like, your girlfriend was actually like able to sort of like be like, okay, but actually I want to do all of those things. But yeah, it just, there's like so much stuff you could actually like about this. And it feels good to be able to cook. Like, let's be honest, having good meals, having nutritious meals, this is important for mental health. Not only for mental health, for physical health, for like, it can be really something where you feel good about yourself. Like, I don't know, for me, being able to cook well and being able to cook like basically like anything I wanted to, it feels powerful. Like, I can like look through social media, see a recipe and then be like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this. And I don't know, I couldn't imagine life to be like, to look through social media and see like other people like eat nice food and then always be like, oh man, I could never eat that nice food, like, oh. Like, it's such a hack. Like, I can make restaurant delicious food at home. Do you know how much money I save and how much I eat like well, you know, like tasty? I don't know. It's like, food is so important to me. Like, you literally like, oh my god. If I wouldn't be able to make delicious food, Jesus Christ. Like, I would maybe have like an eating disorder. Because I only like, I don't have the feeling of hunger, right? So I only eat for appetite and for, and then for pain, because I have like, I get stomach pain if I forget to eat. So it's like, I would have pain the entire time. Like, it also like low-key food which doesn't taste nice to me, I get nauseous really quick from it. I just would feel nauseous the entire time. And basically like don't eat, like I would probably be like so unhealthily thin or something. I don't know. And it's like, like eating actually like low-key works out for me. Because I'm able to cook good and like do stuff I like, actually. So I don't know. She didn't even know how to use an oven or the microwave. Damn. So the first 2 months, if I didn't cook, the best she made for herself was to make a sandwich. I mean, that's something at least, right? Like, there's variety in sandwiches, genuinely. Like, there's a possibility to eat different sandwiches and not the same meal. That's already something, you know? But yeah. It was so funny to me when I left for Germany, a work colleague of Zach, I told you guys this probably already twice or something, but I don't know, it's just so funny to me. But a working colleague of Zach actually invited him to like his home and was like, you know, if you ever need like a change of like tapestry and like, or like any like, you know, like good food or different food, you can come to us for dinner, you know? Like, we got you, buddy. We got you. Like, you know, I'm here for you, buddy. I'm here. Well, I just feel like, damn, you guys. Oh. Like, I don't even know if he actually like found out then that Zach is actually like capable, and is not like dying because he's alone. But yeah, I don't know. And oh yeah, I just remembered the other thing. Like, when I was like at my mom's place, so my stepdad is really, really into weaponized incompetence, and he's coming exactly from this. He doesn't know how to do all of these things, and he also doesn't really get that he needs to do them. Like he doesn't see them as work, because he had never had to like thank his mom or anything for these sort of things. So it was always expected as like, yeah, this just happens. Like I just have a housewife at like all times. You know, like this is just how life is, sort of. Like none of this takes time, none of this takes effort to make, none of this takes like actually like knowledge to do well and stuff like this. And it's leading to serious relationship issues they have. It's leading to serious relationship issues. Because it's leading to this like dynamic where essentially my mom is like believing him that he's incompetent. Because he says he is, right? Like weaponized incompetence. Like every time he needs to do something he doesn't want to do, he plays really fucking stupid. And my mum is like, at the beginning, she's like annoyed and like, well, you can do this. And then he plays like really fucking stupid again. And then she's like, okay, well, then I believe you. You're really fucking stupid, apparently. And all of a sudden, he doesn't get responsibility for all the things he actually wants to take responsibility in anymore. And he gets made fun of because he's really fucking stupid. And like all of those things. So, you know, like there's a lot of like humiliation going on. He doesn't like, but he's also not seeing the connection to weaponized incompetence. Like he doesn't get that if he's playing stupid here and opting out of like that 50-50, you know, everybody's like doing something, then he doesn't get to do 50-50 here. Like he doesn't get to decide what like happens with the house and how the like interior design of the house is made. Because you don't do 50-50 here, you don't get 50-50 here. Oh, no. I don't want the vacuum cleaner here. So it's... And like my mom is like blowing up over like little things then, because she's like so overwhelmed by all of this, and it's so much more work, right? And she's also working full-time, even more than full-time. She's like self-employed. And it's then like blowing up when he like has like when he's playing like really stupid again, which I absolutely get because he isn't stupid. Like she knows he's bullshitting her. But at the same time, he just like if she doesn't do it, the stuff is just laying around. And it just keeps laying around. And she's the first person to be like pissed off by this. And now, because my sisters are old enough, like, and because they know they like a clean house, if she doesn't do it, they do it. So it's really like, it's so bad, but he doesn't get the consequences of his own behavior. He doesn't connect that this is entirely connected. Like, this is his feedback for his bullshit, weaponized incompetence. And it's honestly really sad. Because they fight the entire time. So often. And it's essentially only because they don't properly cooperate on everything. Because of this. And like low-key, I don't know, like maybe they're gonna, you know. Exactly. No, this is also what I sometimes think. But the other part is, my mom is like the same amount of like guilty in this, right? Because she does. Like, she's annoyed in that moment. She's blowing up. But in the end, she's still doing it. She's not giving him the consequences of his behavior. That's why he's still there. But it's a toxic relationship for both of them. And it doesn't matter who's like more at fault or whatever. I think it's sort of like, it's just this, you know, it's just a toxic sort of circle. It's like she's like blowing up, turning like vicious and humiliating because he's behaving incompetent again. But it sort of becomes this habit. So her habit is like blowing up, turning vicious and humiliating, where he doesn't have a chance. And he doesn't really like, he doesn't get to like be equal with her because, well, he opted out of equality before, right? So now he's not equal and he can't really do anything against that. So now he's resenting her for this behavior. And then the next time he has like even less motivation to actually help her or do something for her or like, you know, like take accountability for the relationship. It's sort of like this thing of like, if you don't do enough, I don't do enough either. Like there's no good people out there, so I can be a bad person. Like everybody is selfish, so I can be selfish too. Like I would be stupid not to be selfish because everybody is selfish. Like everybody is a bad friend, so I can be a bad friend too. Like this is sort of like this, the sort of like the mentality which is sort of like underlying in this situation. And it's like they could have better. They could fix that and have better. They could have a better relationship. They could entirely fix that. But my mom is putting more time in her business, and I think he wouldn't. Like, he would need to actually be honest in these conversations, to actually stop bullshitting. That's why they sort of like, they run in together, they have this huge fight, this huge talk. But then they fall into this old pattern again. They don't really change anything for the future. This is like, they know how to have conflict. They don't know how to make consequences. They don't know how to make proper boundaries. Like, essentially, this is a lack of boundaries. Like, my mom is letting him run over these boundaries the entire time. Like, she's complaining, but she's not making consequences. Like, there's no consequences except the complaining. Like, there's payback, but no consequence. The same is with him. Like, he lets her humiliate him and like scream at him, and he doesn't like this. And there's payback, but no consequences. There's no boundary being enforced. Like, that's the thing about boundaries we, like, oftentimes we don't really get. You didn't enforce a boundary if you just complained. Or if you paid it back. That's not enforcing a boundary. Enforcing a boundary is that if that person talks to you like that, you leave the room. You hang up. You say you don't talk to me like this. Call me if you're ready to talk normal. Boundaries would be if somebody of your friends is toxic while playing with you. They don't even need to be toxic to you. Just if you don't like toxicity, you tell them. For me, toxicity is a hard no. If you want to be toxic, you play alone. I'm not going to play with you. That's enforcing a boundary. And that's also leaves the other person a choice. That's the other thing about boundaries. There's always a choice. Nobody needs to acknowledge your boundaries or accept them. But then they're out of your life. Like, this is sort of how it works. Like, nobody needs to adhere to your standards or do what you ask of them or whatever. You can ask for the moon. Like, 90% of people probably would be like, no, sorry. And that's okay. But the people who will stay are the people who actually respect your boundaries. And there's gonna be people who will stay. But yeah, we learn, like, especially I learned conflict from my parents. I didn't learn boundaries. I learned complaining, I learned payback, I learned screaming and being angry. I didn't learn how to not be in this situation again. This is why this like toxic cycle with my dad kept on going for so long. Because it's like, I complained to him about it the entire time. I said, please don't go. Please stop drinking when I'm here. Just stay home today. Just go somewhere else. Like, I complained about this. I begged him to not do it.
Surge, thank you for the 2 months. Solution, thank you for the 10 gifted members. Snack Daddy with the new member. Toasty with the 3 months. Snide, thank you for the 6 months. Code, thank you for the new sub. Volvi, thank you for the new member. Chaser, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. It's okay. Peanut is lost without you. Manila, thank you for the new sub. Cozy with the gifted. J-Ride with the 5 gifted. Luku, thank you for the 9 months. Thanatos, thank you for the 2 gifted. Green with the new sub. Thanatos with the new sub.
Quite peculiar.
Volturus, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Oh. Matt, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate you. You guys like ever scratch your eyeball and you feel like you have something in your eye for like a freaking week?
Dude, you're talking crazy.
Dude, I scratched my eyeball somehow, and it has...
Oh my god, this guy right here!
Back. Open it, you dumbass!
I didn't close it, he closed it! Gotta be dead!
Down the hole, northwest.
Dingle!
I'm one.
I'm going in! Poke him!
Nice, here, look. There's another one deeper, Peanut.
Oh, he's on me.
I'm coming.
I heard him.
Dang. I can't see the smoke.
I got him.
Oh, nice. Lord.
Oh.
Oh.
The first guy we killed was a completely different team, I think.
Wait, what? But there's only 2 guys right here.
I don't know where it's got. Never mind, got him. I thought this guy just crawled so far. Holy fuck.
Who's this guy?
The guy that I killed.
We loot the first guy?
Yeah, first guy was homeless. He had a bobcat.
What?
I said he was homeless. All he had was a bobcat.
I'll trade you anything for that. I got a banana 4 and a Toro 4.
It's a kettle.
He's just trolling me, Peanut.
Good.
ごめん、タイラ。別れて。待って、俺また何かした？怒らせた？ごめん、謝るから。そうやってすぐ俺の機嫌伺うとこが重い。はい？重いっつってんの。お前、いつも俺に嫌われたくないとか言ってたけど、それって好きと違くない？あと今まで黙ってたけど、タイラお前マグロじゃん。はぁ？あれマジで不満だった。なもんやってる時に言え！だって、言いづらいだろ、そんな話。うるせえな。もういいわ。本当にめんどくせえな。はいはい、わかった。いいよ、別れてやれや。 言っとくけどこの部屋、俺名義だからな。俺が戻るまでに荷物まとめて聞いとけ、クソ野郎。住田平、たった今、男と別れました。戻るまでにってどこで時間潰すんだ。アホか俺は。雨なのに傘忘れるし。終わる時なんてこんなもんかね。付き合って2年だろ。一緒に住んだのが1年。昨日まで何の素振りも見せなかったくせによ。俺が気づかなかっただけか。マグロで悪かったな。くっそー。マグロ好きなの？え？あ、ごめんね急に。そこうちの店の入り口なんだ。すみません。いえいえ。よかったら一杯と。雨も降ってるし、暇な店を助けると思って。はあ。でね。何言うかと思ったらさ、重い。それって好きじゃないよねって。俺の気持ちを勝手に決めんなっつうんだよ。うぜえ逆でごめんね。そうだ。この店なんて読むの？ヤクだよ。名字そのまま。顔も良けりゃ名前もイケメン。いいなぁ。俺なんて住田なのに。いいじゃん、住田くん。いやいや。てか、ほんと暇なんですね。この店大丈夫なの？雨止まないしね。今日はもう閉めよっかな。俺も一緒に飲んでいい？しゃあ、飲め飲め。それでマグロって叫んでたんだ。そうっすよ。ひどくない？マジでそれ今言うかって。俺がマグロなら奴は粗チンだっつの。ったくよ。そんでもまあまあ好きだったんだけどね。粗チンを割れた。でもさ、ヤクさんぐらいイケメンだとあんま悩みとかなくない？やだな。俺だって悩みぐらいあるよ。イケメンを否定しない。いいけどね別に。じゃあヤクさんの悩みって何よ？聞いてくれるの？はいよ。ここだけの話。実は俺、人の血をちょっとだけもらって生きてきたんだ。吸血鬼かよ。そういう中二設定いりません。待って、続きがあるんだって。でね、それなのに血液アレルギーになっちゃってさ。アレルギー？吸血鬼困るじゃん。どうすんの？だからね、代わりに精液もらうの。吸血鬼じゃなくて、陰魔では？設定ブレてんぞ。陰魔じゃないよ。なんだこの人。俺の話聞いたからって合わせてきてんのかよ。ねえ、住田くんの精液くれる？今日の会計チャラにするから。マグロでもいい？全然オッケー。てか、ここで釣んの？上の部屋俺んちなの。ああ、なるほどな。どうする？どうするって、そんなの。彼氏と別れたその日、別の男と寝るかよ。頭痛え。二重の意味で痛い。あ、起きてたの、住田くん。夢はご迷惑かけます。 よかった。帰っちゃったかと思った。イケメンは寝起きの顔も強い。まだ7時前。じゃなくて、家戻って仕事行かなきゃ。何まったりしてんだよ。仕事終わったらまた来てよ。住田くんのこともっと知りたい。遅くなってもよければ。やべ、マジで行かなきゃ。ごめん、じゃあ後で。初対面で血くれとか精液くれとか普通にやべえよな。でも行くって言っちゃったんだよな。あとやっぱ飲み代払わなきゃダメだろ。だから俺昨日別れたばっか。本当に来てくれるかな。住田くんパンツ置いてった。そして俺のパンツがないね。帰宅した部屋に元彼の姿はなかった。まあ消えろっつったの俺なんだけど。
住田、牛乳飲まん？間違えて買っちゃった。
飲む。あざっす。
ていうか住田、なんで今日そんな死んだ顔してんの？
二日酔いなんで。生きてるもん。
普段そんなに飲まねえだろ。もんじゃねえよ、バカ。
バカっつった方がバカなのに。ちょっと、いろいろあったんです。
なんか浮ついた話？
むしろ逆ですかね。
の割に落ち込んでねえな。つまんない。
人の不幸にあんた。
まあまあ、どんまい。焼け酒パート2、いっちゃう？
二日酔いっつってんでしょ。そりゃ確かに落ち込んじゃいないけど、寂しさを感じないっつったらそれも嘘で。本当に荷物なくなってら。まあ、あいつの荷物少なかったし、残されても困るし。俺も引っ越そっかな。なんて、イケメンパンツ洗わにゃ、感傷に浸ってる場合じゃねえわ。洗剤。あったあった。あんやろ！こんなもんだけ置いてくんじゃねえよ！次会ったら絶対そっちんつったね。いや、それより今はこいつをどんな顔して返すか問題。もうなんで他人のパンツ履いて帰るかな。もうバカなの。また来てよ。だからっておいおい足を運んでしまうのも真に受けたみたいでやだ。仕事帰りにサクッと寄りました作戦、これで行こう。もう深夜に近いけどよし。っていうか店やってるよな。人の血をちょっとだけもらって生きてきたんだ。昨日の場所行って何もなかったらどうしよう。ちゃんとあるじゃん店。やべえ、緊張してきた。金とパンツ返すだけだ。普通に自然に。なんかキラキラしたの出てきた。
お客さん？
いえ、ヤクさんは？
ああ、ちょっと待ってて。 やっくん、誰か来たけどどうする？
やっくん。すみません。今日はもう、すみとくん。嬉しい、来てくれたんだ。いや、すみません。こんな時間に。
ねえ、奥の椅子戻しとく？
ありがとう。大丈夫だよ。昨日の飲み代と、これ。いいのに、昨日の分はいいね。じゃあ俺はこれで。帰るの？すみとくん？なんだ。無駄に緊張して損したじゃねえか。やっくんねえ。いや、しかし、イケメンと美少年の絵面は強かった。昨日ちょっとあれしたぐらいで、何をそんなにがっかりしてんだ。でもさ、あの流れで、また来てよなんて言われりゃ、多少の期待はするってもんじゃん。なんて、世の中そんな都合よくできてねえよな。もう、クソしてねよ。平。よ。は？なんだおめえ、こんな夜中に。てかサングラスかけてんじゃねえよ。変装のつもりか？いや、荷物さ。全部引き上げて、鍵はポストに入れてきたから。うわぁ、クソ気まずー。すみたくん。あいつ、平のこと呼んでない？すみたくーん！うわっ！ヤク様！よかった。見失うかと思った。飲み代こんなにもらえないよ。すみたくん、足早いんだね。いや、なんでここにいんの？後ろからずっと追いかけて呼んでたよ。すみたくん全然気づかないんだもん。マジかよ。誰？まだいた。誰でもいいだろ。お前には関係ねえ。すみたくんの新しい男です。何言ってんだこいつ！ね。そう、俺の男だから遠慮なく巣立ってくれ。ごめんね、すみたくん。何が？俺余計なことしちゃったかもって今更だけど、しかもちゃっかり上がり込んで。いやいや、ちょっとスッキリしたんで、茶ぐらい飲んでってよ。走らせちゃったし。もうね、マジでクソ気まずかったし、あのタイミングはむしろ神だったし。神って。まあ、心残りがあるとすれば、措置法を発動しなかったことぐらい？何？ヤクさん、彼氏は？彼氏？さっき店にいたじゃん。親密そうな。てか、待たせてんじゃねえの？店に。光さんのことかな。その情報いらんし。もう光だか明かりだかどっちでもいいけど、ダメじゃんそういうの。ちゃんとしろよ。茶なんか飲んでる場合か。あの人はうちの常連さんだよ。常連客？ちなみに女の子だし、彼女もいるよ。ややこしいな。親密そうに見えたの？そりゃあもう、美少年とイケメンが並ぶ姿はお似合いで。違うよ、もう。今日、来てくれて本当に嬉しかったんだよ。俺は、すみたくんと親密になりたいのに。俺たち、昨日知り合ったばっかですよ。別になってもいいけど、どうせまた正義くれとか言うんだろ。それもあるんだけど。やっぱその設定まだ生きてた。聞くんじゃなかった。てかあんた、それ言うなら俺のが圧倒的にぶち込まれたからな。ぶち込んじゃダメ？はい？期間限定で。なんだそれ。元彼のことを忘れるまで。 そんな都合のいい話があってたまるか。でも俺、ちょろいんだよな。ふつつか者だけど、よろしくね。うるせえ、吸血鬼。ああ、そんな言い方されたら俺、本当に好きになっちゃいそう。親密って、なんだっけ？帰りたくねえ。泊まってく？いや、そんなつもりで行ったんじゃ。着替えの心配なら大丈夫だよ。住田くんのパンツもあるし。じゃねえよ。あんたが欲しがるから置いてったんだろ。パンツくれなんて人生で初めて言われたわ。そうじゃなくてさ。仕方ねえけど、どうしても思い出すんだよね。アパートの更新も近いから、引っ越そうかなとは思ってんだけど。住田くん、やっぱり今日は泊まって。そんなこと聞いたら返したくなくなっちゃうよ。いいって、そんな深刻なノリじゃない。うわ、泣くなよ。だって、こないだみたいに待ち伏せされたらどうするの？いや、もう来ねえだろ。あとあれ、待ち伏せじゃねえし。住田くん可愛いから心配なんだよ。可愛い？ヤクさんって視力悪い？両目とも 2.0。こんなに可愛いとか言われたことあったか？でも嬉しい。なあ、俺の。なんでもない。やっぱ帰るよ。俺のどこがいいの？とは聞けなんだ。本当に好きになっちゃいそう。ヤクさんも俺のこと好きってわけじゃねえんだよな。もやもやする。もう！俺ってちょろいと思います？
ちょろい。ちょろたに改名してもいいんじゃない？
嫌ですよ。なんだよ、ちょろたって。100歩譲って、俺がちょろいのは否定しない。だけどさ、顔は好みだし、体は合うし、惹かれない理由がねえよ。今日だってなんだかんだ店に向かってるし。そしてこのまま、俺だけがズブズブにはまっていく未来が見える。住田くんやっぱりマグロだから別れよう。住田妄想劇場。つうか、これでまた振られたら俺、今度こそ立ち直れる気がしねえ。行くのやめとくか。
住田くんじゃん。
美少年じゃなくて、ひかりさん。
やっぱそうだ。友よの服を全部背負ったような後ろ姿してんの、ウケる。
この世の不幸？可愛いってこういうのだよな。そして俺の背中にはどんな哀愁が。
たっくんとこ行くなら一緒に行こうよ。
いや、俺は。
そっか。じゃあまたね。
ヤクさんって、モテる。何を聞いてんだ俺は。
住田、自分のことしか考えてないの？引くんだけど。うわぁ。
引く。
振られたら立ち直れないってなんなん？別れる時に消耗すんのはお互い様でしょ？ドン引きだよ。もぐもぐ。それが嫌なら付き合わなきゃいいのに。
いや、でもね、俺まだヤクさんのこと何にも。それこそ、下の名前も知らなくて。
じゃあ聞けばいいじゃん。
え？
待ってるだけで何もしないとか、どこのお姫様のつもりだよ。
お姫様って、待て。これって、精神的マグロでは。奴の見る目は確かだった。
そういた？
いえ、己の至らなさを今存分に恥じてるところで。
まあ、スミタがどう思ってるか知らないけどさ。やっくん、いいやつだよ。うさんくさく見られがちだけど。
うん。
ケーキもう一個頼んでいい？
ケーキでも飯でもどうぞ。飲む前によくそんな食えるね。やっぱり俺はちょろいんだろう。もやもやしたものが少しだけ晴れた気がする。
はあ、ひかりさんと一緒に来たからびっくりしたよ。
ええ、まあ、なんというか、成り行きで、さすがに言えねえ。
そうだ、すみたくん。見て見て、お揃いのパンツ、おめパーン。アマゾンで見つけちゃった。新品の方あげるね。
なぜ俺が新品？ねえ、ヤクさん。下の名前教えてほしいんだけど。
え？名前？あれ、まだ言ってなかったっけ？俺ね、三つ秋っていうの。
どうだ、マグロから一歩前進したぞ。
よろしくね。
いや、ミツルかと思った。
三つ秋っていうの。
意外と普通の名前だったな。だって、吸血鬼とか言うんだもんよ。もっとそれっぽい。って逆に何？そんなのあるわけねえじゃんな。
何ニヤニヤしてんの？
これが普通ですけど。
嘘。いつもの3割増しでご機嫌じゃねえか。
いちいち観察しないでもらえます？
してません。お前が分かりやすいんだわ。何かいいことあったのかな、チョロタ君は。
チョロタじゃねえよ。そんなに分かりやすいか俺。
わあ、すみたくん。
どうも。
座って座って。お仕事お疲れ様。
あ、うん。
ねえねえ、ヤクさんって今いい？
俺以外に客がいる。珍しい。
ねえ、だから、ヤクさんって彼女いるの？
もう、そんなの聞いてどうするの。まあいないんだけど。
嘘だ。
まあ、表になることで、ヤクさんも頬染めてんじゃねえよ。
ほんとだって。俺に彼女はいないよね、すみたくん。
いませんね。
ほら。
マジで？
涼しい顔して俺に振るな、バーカそりゃまあ普通にモテるわな。顔が強い。頬つうか、顔赤すぎでは。おめえ熱あんじゃねえか。
なんか調子悪いとは思ったんだよね。
思ったなら休むか医者行けよ。うわ、熱っ。そういや、くしゃみしてたもんな。もう上行って寝てろ。俺片しとくから。
でも、なんでもないです。怖いよ、すみたくん。ごめんね、すみたくん。
いいから、病人はおとなしくしとけ。ほら、薬飲んだら寝ろ。スポドリこっち置いとくからな。俺、冷却シート貼っとけ。
すみたくん、看病慣れてない？
そう？まあ、でも、 弟と妹の面倒を見てたからな。第4系も置いとくぞ。
お兄ちゃんなんだ。
まあ、両親共働きだったしな。それより、なんか欲しいもんあれば買ってくるけど。
欲しいもの。じゃあ。住田くんの精液。
エロ。
ケチ。
ケチじゃねえよ。元気になったらくれてやるわい。何？
そっか。
そうだよ。わかったら寝なさいよ。ヤクさん、結構風邪とかひくタイプ？
多分風邪じゃなくて寝不足。たまにこうなるんだよね。
じゃあ、なおさら寝とけよ。早っ！まあ、いいか。ごねられるよりは。吸血鬼の弱点は十字架、もしくはそれを模したもの。試すだけだし、ペンでいっか。ペカー！暇なんだもの、墨を。
元気になったら気持ちよくしてあげるね。
どんな寝言だよ！具合悪い時まで整った寝顔しやがって。
元気になったよ。すっきり。
本当に病院行かなくて大丈夫か？
熱も下がったし。朝までいてくれてありがと
う。どういたしまして。じゃあ俺そろそろ帰るわ。ヤクさんも病み上がりなんだから無理すんなよ。
待って、住田くん。お礼させてほしいなって。
まあ、そんなのいいって。
ダメだよ。俺が良くない。気持ちよくしてあげるから。
寝言と同じこと言ってんじゃねえよ。とりあえず、今じゃなくて結構です。
やだー！
やだじゃねえよ！帰って寝るんだ俺は！
住田くんが言ったんだよ。言ったよね。元気になったら精液くれるって。
いや、俺風呂入ってねえし！
いいよ、住田くんの匂いに包まれたい。
変態か！
ボディーソープのいい香り。
がっくり。残念そうに言うな。
住田くんを思いっきり吸い込みたかったのに、塩。
言い方が気持ち悪い。
だって住田くんの成分全部欲しいんだもん。
俺の何がそんなにいいんだよ。
会った瞬間住田くんがいいって思っちゃったからな。
なんだそれ。ヤクさん、今の、
ごちそうさま。
顔がいい。
なんか調子出てきたかも。ご飯食べたら本番していい？
俺はそんなにちょろくねえ！ちくしょうめ！ちょろだじゃねえもん
俺！子供の頃から何を考えているのかよくわからないと言われるタイプだった。うさんくさいとかさ。そんな自分を本当にわからない奴だなと思ったのは、長く片思いしていた彼の結婚式でスピーチを笑顔でやった日。
ヤク、二次会行かねえの？
ごめんね、明日早くて。幸せになってくれるならそれでいいと二次会をパスして出会った。
マグロで悪かったな！
雨に濡れてキラキラ輝く住田くん。 完全に一目惚れだった。でさ、聞いてみれば振られたばかりで同じ。それでマグロって叫んでたんだ。
そうだよ。俺がマグロなら奴はそっちんだ。
そっちひえただ愚痴る姿が嫌ではなく、自分とは逆に正直に落ち込める姿が何とも羨ましかった。
そんでもまあまあ好きだったんだけどね。
出会った日に手を出してしまったのは、どうにかして物にしようと焦ったからだろう。秘めた恋なんて二度としない。都合のいい男になんてなりたくなかった。
どうしたのやっくん。ため息なんかついちゃって。
なんていうか、いろいろありまして。
わかった。恋煩い的なやつでしょ。私にはわかるよ。やっくんが？なにそうなの？どや。
ちょっとひかりさん？
聞いてあげるよ。てか聞きたいから、さあどうぞ。つやつや、ワクワク。
もう、そんなんじゃ、あなた方順調だからって。やっぱ聞いてくれる？
喜んで。あ、おかわりください。かれこれ1週間来てもらえてないと。
でも、仕事が立て込んでるのかもしれないし、体調崩してたら心配だし、あとは、もしかして嫌われたのかも、とか、考えたらキリがなくてさ。
電話すればいいのに。
連絡先知らないから。
そこはサクッと交換しとかなきゃ。
聞こうとは思ってたんだけど、体の関係を優先したとは言えない。だって最低じゃないか。
育児の使命。
家は知ってるし。
怖い。
怖い？もう、ストーカーみたいに言わないでよ。
やっくんさ、期間限定で元彼のこと忘れるまでって言っちゃってんだよね。んで、店に来るのを待ってるだけでしょ？
だけっていうか、待つしかできないし。
それってただのセフレじゃん。
くっそー！好きって言ったよ。
返事は？
絶賛放置を味わってます。っていうか、スミタくん、忘れちゃってるかも。放置プレイが長すぎるよ。
はいはい、仲間いい。まさかそれ、エッチの時に言ってない？自分だけ盛り上がって告白した気になってるとか。あるよね
ー。思い出されるあれもこれも、チンチン出してる時の発言。おっしゃる通りでーす。白旗。
正解出しちゃったって。やっくん、本当にポンコツだね。
どうしよう。俺のことダメなやつとか思ってるから思ってるよね。
知らん。それこそ本人に聞きなよ。
ご無沙汰。
幻覚？
はあ？また熱でも出てんの？
スミタ、久しぶり。噂のご本人登場。はじめまして。
久しぶりと、はじめまして。じゃなくて、待って、何の話？
ごめん、二人とも、今日は閉店します。はい？ほんとごめんね。今日は全額サービスするから。
そうすな。じゃ、会計はお言葉に甘えるね。
閉店？
いい報告待ってる。スミタくん、またね
ちょっと待って。全然わかんないんだけど、俺も出直した方が。いや、鍵閉めんのかい？ヤクさん？なんか怒ってる？
怒ってない。けど、
怒ってんじゃん。
なんで来てくれなかったの？
マジでこれ、気にしないでほしいんだけど。ちょっと、風邪で寝込みまして。そんで、休んでた間の仕事も溜まってて。もしかして俺の風邪？いや、もう治ったから。そもそもあなたの風邪かどうかもわからんし。俺のこと嫌いになったわけじゃない？は？なんで嫌い？ごめん、もういいんだ。泣いてんの？嫌われてなくてよかった。これは嬉し涙だよ。やっぱ何かあったんだろ？あるようなないようなって感じ。なんじゃそりゃ。あんまジロジロ見んなよ。住田くん。本当は今すっごく聞きたいことや話したいことがいっぱいあるんだけど、なんかもういろいろ溢れそうで。だから。飲んでほしいな。何を？だってもう我慢できない。ここで？おい、ヤクさん！ちゃんと後で掃除するから。住田くんの匂い。はぁ？やる気満々だな！飲むだけなら汚れねえだろ！いや、そうじゃなくて、店は良くない！やめろ！そしてすぐだ！俺がいいって言ってるのに。うるせえ！モラルとか常識って知ってます？変なとこ真面目だよね、住田くん。あんたが非常識なんだよ！じゃあ、俺の部屋行こう。最初からそう言えよ。やりすぎちゃった。ごめんね、住田くん。せめてゆっくり寝てほしい。こっち向いたかわいい。やばい。またムラムラしちゃう。とりあえず、起きたらいっぱい話をしよう。その後もう一回しようね。ヤクさんの風邪が移って数日寝込み、溜まった仕事をこなしてさらに数日。もう忘れられてるかもしれないと不安を抱えつつ会いに来たら、会うなり、ぬかずの7発やられました。絶倫かよ！ごめんね、夢中になっちゃって。いや、まあ、明日休みだし大丈夫だけど。じゃあ今日泊まれるね。いや、明日は用事が。1週間も会えなかったのに。もう全体重かけんな。これは愛の重さだよ。ああ言えばこういう。これってもしかして本当に寂しかったとか？どうなの？どうなんだ？やりたかっただけとか？正解がわからん。聞いて違うって言われたら言いたすぎるし。いや、俺は精神的マグロを卒業した。そうだ、住田くん、連絡先交換していい？いいかもさ。とりあえず服着ていい？出花をくじかれるチョロだ。登録っと。わあ、住田くんの ID。何感動してんだ。よし、今度こそ聞くぞ。俺って住田くんにとってセフレかな？セフレ？っていうか、今はそれでもいいんだけど。いや、よくはないけど。ヤクさん？
ないんだけど。いつか元彼のことを忘れたら、俺と付き合ってほしいです。はい。はい。好きなんだ、住田くんのこと。何してんの？いや、現実かどうか確認。そんなに俺って嘘っぽい？否定しないんだ。っていうか、都合のいい夢でも見てんじゃねえかって。ヤクさん吸血鬼だし。100歩譲って吸血鬼だとしてもだ。血液アレルギーだから精液くれとか言う割にすげえ出すし。いや、ほんとすみません。嘘ばっかじゃん。好きなのは嘘じゃないよ。吸血鬼設定は？それは、住田くんと最初に会った日に欲しくなっちゃったから。え？うん。会うたびに好きになって、絶対自分のものにしたいって思ったから。またまた本当だよ。信じてもらえない？イケメンのマヤどこが？俺のどこが？まず顔でしょ？顔？イケメンに言われてもな。あと声がいいし、エッチな体も。素直なとことか、サラサラの髪も好きだな。絶え間なく。ぶっきらぼうだけど面倒見が良くて優しいとこ。それから。もういいです。住田くん？聞いてるだけで照れる。今まで誰にも言われたことねえよ。よかった。なんだと？住田くんをちゃんと知ってるのが俺だけで。ギュン。さっきも言ったけど、ちゃんと向き合えるようになったらでいいから、俺と。とっくに！俺だってヤクさんのこと好きだし。本当に？マグロでもいい？全然いいよ。喜んでたよ。てか住田くんマグロじゃないし、それならアレルギー持ちの吸血鬼でもいい？いつまで続けんの？その設定。いいけどさ。すっごくエッチで可愛い。可愛くねえよ。だって俺のせいでこんなになってるんだよ。ね？そんなに言うなら責任取れよな。もちろん俺はもう住田くんの全部に夢中だよ。帰りたいけど帰れない。なんで帰りたがるの？思いが通じ合った夜なのに。もう完全に朝だわ。まだ話したくないけど予定あるんだもんね今日。はい。どうも。それなんだけど、部屋を探しに行くつもりだったんだよな。住田くん引っ越すの？なんつうか、やっぱ、気持ち切り替えたかったし。好きな人がいるのに、元彼と住んでたとこに呼びたくねえし。ねえねえねえ、 つも好きな人って俺？
そうだよ。起き上がるのしんどいし、探すの来週にするけどな。
うん。じゃあ来週引っ越ししよう。
はい。
うち一部屋空いてるから。
マジで？
マジだよ。向かいの襖の部屋ね。
うさんくせえ笑顔。うさんくさいけど、なんか騙されてねえかとか思うけど。てか、本当にいいの？転がり込むよ、俺。
もちろん。
うわっ！チョロタの名に恥じぬよう、信じてみるか。
I didn't do any consequences. I didn't tell him, if you do this, if you go now, I'm gonna call my mom and have her pick me up. I'm not gonna be here. And this is something like, okay, from a child, you can't really expect that. So I don't blame myself that I didn't do it, because first of all, I didn't learn it, and second of all, I'm a fucking child and this is my dad. Like, I am dependent on this person emotionally. That I want to keep harmony is understandable. But these are the boundaries we need to learn. These are the things we need to learn. It's not about complaining. It's not about payback. It's not about the other person being like, oh, I'm sorry. But then it's happening again and again and again. Boundaries are things which the goal is they are not crossed again. They are not crossed in the first place. Essentially, you should speak up before they are crossed. And if a person tries to cross them, there's consequences. Instantly. So, but this is, yeah, what we really lack, I think. And what is really hard to understand, because I feel like in society in general, we don't really learn it this way. But it's, yeah, that's, I don't know, I feel like it's so funny at the same time, because I felt like I have good boundaries. Like, I really believed I'm good with boundaries, actually. Because I get vocal. Like, I have friends who didn't say anything when their boundaries were crossed. Like, I'm already good at boundaries. Like, I complain, I get vocal, you know? But there was no consequences. There was no actually putting in the consequences so my boundaries don't get overstepped again. But I thought I had good boundaries because I complained 100 times. Didn't change anything. Didn't change a fucking thing. But yeah, that's good boundaries, right? My boundaries were the same amount of cross like the people who don't speak up and don't say anything. It's like I'm so freaking annoyed how boundaries are portrayed in our society. Because I made this mistake far longer than I would have needed to. Far longer. It's so annoying to me that I seriously believe my boundaries were good. Even though there was no consequences, even though there was only vocal complaining and no consequences, and they just got overstepped and overstepped and overstepped and overstepped again. I hate that I even felt like actually putting in consequences would be bad, and like that's not something you do. Like, I feel so stupid for this, because that is having boundaries. This is like the most important part actually about having boundaries. Like, it's first of all communication, but then actually enforcing the boundary, having consequences to this. I was so far from it. So far. And it's genuinely hard to learn even now. Like, even now there's moments where I don't know, where I struggle with boundaries. because it's something which I just never learned properly. My camera says it's overheating. So if the camera turns off, we know why. My stream is unstable because the average stream bitrate is too high. What? That's a thing. Funny. Yeah. So this is my piece to boundaries. I have no idea. I thought it's 6K. And that's the boundaries. What am I saying? And that's the optimum. And what is it? True. Okay. Bitrate. No, it says 6K. Six K is maximum. So I don't know. We only could do 3.5. When you were once partnered, everything else is always. We're not partnered. What? I don't see it here though. Like here it doesn't say like for partner or like not for partner. So like I don't know if they like openly say that, like maybe they don't. But at least here it doesn't say it. Yeah. I'm gonna make the chat like a tiny bit smaller. Like this, I think. But yeah. Yeah. It's like back then I was like really The funny thing is, like, back then I really thought, like, at the beginning I always thought, like, oh, my mom is, like, the annoying person. And then I grew older and I thought, like, okay, my dad is the problem, like my stepdad. And now that I actually, like, read this, like, book, I'm like, they both are the problem. Like, their toxic cycle is the problem, and both of them don't break out of it. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know, it's, of course, like, it's so annoying to sit next to them, and then, like, all of a sudden it turns, like, that loud. It's, like, a huge stimuli for me. It's, like, I don't really like loud noises that much. But at the same time, I just feel like, guys, just stop it already. Like, it's so... Both of them feel so much in that moment. And still, they don't see each other. But just think, oh, like, the other person's, like, unreasonable. They really, like, they don't believe in each other to be better than this. Because they don't think they have anything to do with the other person's reaction. And yeah. But, well, it's always two people. Let's actually come back to the mental health check-in. Because we got sidetracked a lot. I always keep my tension in my shoulders and neck. But how are you guys feeling? Because we talked more about the circumstances before. So I feel like maybe now's the time to actually get into feelings. I can also start, like always, if you guys want to. Let me think. Actually, I invite you all to take part in it. To be honest, even if everything around me is kind of chill and relaxed, but I'm kind of tired a bit at the moment, and yes, I'm actually tired because I'm sitting at home and don't go to work. Sounds crazy now, but I'm kind of excited to go back to work on Monday. But that's good, I think. It's actually, so, this is good timing that you bring up this, because yesterday I learned about stress management, right? And I not only learned about stress management, but also about stress in general. And apparently stress in general, let me bring out my materials I made. So, understanding stress. There's actually, I don't need this. Yeah, it's all. I just found it funny that I have it. But there's actually good stress. Like stress is like we always say stress in sort of like, oh, this is negative, and we sort of also usually mean like the negative stress with this, because the positive stress we usually sort of say is excitement. But yeah, there's positive stress, which is sort of like also necessary in our lives to make us like motivated to, for example, get out of bed in the morning and like do something, get something done, and all of those things. And if we don't have this positive stress, we apparently feel like, for example, like bored or frustrated, and it can actually turn into depression, because what we also know is that sort of like for most people, like on average, before depression actually hits, like if you're one of those people who have like depressive phases, so before one of those depressive phases comes up, we do less. Like we go out less, we meet less with friends, we do less, like there's less initiative to do stuff. And the initiative to do stuff is actually like a lot of like the one thing which is like heavily connected to depression, because there's like a lot of things which can be different for like different people, right? But for a lot of people, initiative and not feeling like doing anything, like not really having motivation to do anything, not initiating to do anything, not initiating to go to the gym, not initiating to meet any friends, like sort of these things are really good sort of like really good symptoms to pinpoint, okay, there's like depression, like another depressive phase coming. And it's one of those things where we know this happens first, and it's hard to say sort of like, yeah, well, maybe, like, where is this like not feeling motivated and sort of like this stuff coming from, right? Like we don't really know that, like it's many different things, but we do know that like we do less before the depressive phase hits on average. And I repeat this, like on average, not every person, okay? If you are different, you don't not have depression because you do stuff, okay? But it's on average. And to me, it's really interesting how it's essentially also like connected to this like positive stress, like feeling excited to do something and looking forward to something. And it can be stressful, for example, like a wedding, but it's positive stress. Or like, for example, like some life circumstance change and stuff like this. But yeah, positive stress is a thing, and it's really, I don't know, it's important for us to have something we sort of that gives us like motivation, and that sort of like induces in us this like this feeling to like do something and get out and do something. I think maybe you can call it like, I don't know if it's purpose, like it can be multiple different things, but I feel like, for example, work, like that you are excited to go back to work, and then you're sort of like tired from like sitting at home and not doing something. Yeah, I think it makes sense. And there's, I don't know, so you're not crazy, you know? This can be like a really normal thing, actually. And especially like it's not only because you're at home and like you don't do anything, right? It's also you still have your back injury, right? So you still don't go to training. So like your hobbies are also sort of like on hold, right? Like you've been to your friends already, like all of the stuff you like really look forward to. So all of this like positive stress has more like gone down, I think, right? And now you're sort of like, it's these last few days before work where it's like, you don't start anything like big. And then also on like Tuesday and Thursdays, you have this like thing where you need to learn and stuff. So there's maybe just, yeah, this like absence of positive stress, which is sort of making you tired. Maybe you can do something. Maybe you can find some goal for the time being. Oh, you go to training again? Just half the stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think there is something you can, I don't know, you can have positive stress towards, which is sort of like a tinier thing, or maybe like a preparation for work, like maybe some food prep or something, to then like in the first week or something have, I don't know, have really nice food as well or something? Just sort of like something like that. Or do you think like just sort of like chilling out and really giving your back the like the most rest it can before going to work is like maybe best? But it's funny, right, how our bodies work. Like it was really interesting to read about this, how positive stress and how like actually necessary also positive stress is. So like stress is not necessarily bad, because I always thought that stress is bad and like stress gave me like the chronic headache and stuff like this. And that's also like I told you guys like last week, I think, that I was like low-key like a little bit of like uncertain or scared that I now like do way more things again, and then I'm like that I have these like, well, this positive stress essentially, and that I'm like, is this like all right, or like am I doing too much again? Like, is this healthy? Is this like gonna turn out bad? Like, what's gonna happen, sort of? And yeah, now it makes like so much sense though that I feel better now because I have those positive stresses. And not only those positive stresses, apparently like, so stress is still, like, don't get me wrong, stress is still really bad. Like, negative stress is still bad. Well, not really negative. It's not really positive. Well, the positive stress, okay, wait. So positive stressors are, it's usually like, it's called positive stress because it's positive stresses. It's like a wedding. Stress itself is neither like good or bad. It's about how we handle the stress. So technically also positive stresses, like a wedding, where we're like excited for, there's like a lot of things to this, right? And there's a lot of things which are probably also going to be like experience as negative stress. And those stresses, if you don't handle them right, even with positive stresses, like if we don't handle them right, which we usually do with positive stresses, but some don't, then it can have like really detrimental like health effects. Like there's this study which essentially said like in a 24-month period, the more stressful events you had, the worse your health was. So handling stress well is a real life skill, I think. I mean, I already washed all my working clothes in order of the day where I want to wear them. Other than that, I really can't do much prep. I can only see my day plan on Sunday for Monday. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's spontaneous. But I see. So now it's this like anticipation moment. I mean, I think in those moments it's just... I sometimes like really enjoy times where I don't do much and I don't have positive stressors. Just sort of like for what they are. And I'm like really like leaning into, because I feel like once in a while I have this need to be really like back like in student life, you know, like drink energy, stay up late, game the whole day, sort of kind of like this. And I just feel like sometimes when I don't have any positive stresses, I just use that time to fulfill this need, sort of. And just really like lean into it and like enjoy that this is like the lazy unhealthy time. And then usually it's one of those needs where like you really feel like doing it, but you know that at the end of it you're gonna feel like crap. Like it's one of those things. Like it's like going to McDonald's. Like every once in a while I feel like going to McDonald's, and every time I'm at that place, then I'm like, this doesn't taste as great as in my imagination. Like it's always a letdown. But it's like, at the same time, it's, you sort of like expect, like if you don't expect a great burger, but you're just like, well, this is just like this like need for this really sort of like for essentially this shitty burger who only tastes like MSG and stuff like this, then it's really enjoyable. So, and then sort of like also the negative, like the usually negative stuff is then also turning like good to me, weirdly. Like also this, like when I like then game the whole day and then like next day I just wake up and I have back pain and it's like, I don't know, like 13 o'clock and I really need to get back into my own rhythm. Like it's sort of like, it's still like, oh, okay, ooh. But it's at the same time like it's with a smile, you know. It's like, damn, like I did this every day back then, Jesus Christ. I'm really like glad I don't do it anymore. But it was also nice to like be reminded of that sort of, I guess, yeah, actually I guess it's more like you do it for nostalgia, but it's like you're also really like, there's a reason why you don't live like that anymore. But every once in a while having this like nostalgic sense is really nice. Ooh, 4 a.m. Damn. Okay, that's crazy. Sitting in like an evil scientist room one more movie, only without the white cat. Instead, you have the doggo. Yeah. Now you can still enjoy your nostalgic, or like, is it for you nostalgia? Because for me it is, but I just sort of assumed it's gonna be for you too. I can't game anymore after 1 a.m. My concentration is just down. Usually I hang in Discord and watch a movie. Well, I mean, that's also good, right? I just still game without concentration. I'm kind of happy about my sleep at the moment. Kind of fixed it, and I try to keep up the momentum. Nice, let's go. That's good. Doing something to stay in green, I see. This whole concept of like having to do stuff to stay in green was really odd to me. Like I genuinely, I didn't get that I had to do this. I felt so weird for having to do this also. Like I genuinely I felt like, I don't know why, but I had this feeling that like nobody else has to do this. Like everybody just regularly is in green. But now I realize actually like everybody who is in green is actually doing something to stay in green. Like my grandma has so many things she's like on a daily basis she's doing to stay in green. And also like the other friends we have who are like a little bit older, like you usually only see it with like older people who, because they already have figured their life out sort of. But there's so many things they do to stay in green. And when I first got to know this concept, like I really felt like, no, like I hated the fact that I had to do stuff to stay in green. Like I felt like, oh, I'm sick and that's why I have to do stuff to stay in green. Or like I'm unhealthy and that's why I have to do stuff to stay in green. And like it's so hard to stay in green, like it's so much effort, like, but it's only like, I felt like it's only for me so much effort to stay in green. And I don't know, there was always this, I really like, I didn't want to have to do all these things to stay in green. So every time I was in green, I stopped doing those things again because I felt like I don't want to have to keep doing them to stay in green. Like I didn't want to accept it, that I have to keep doing them to stay in green. I just felt like, no, I'm in green now, so this just needs to stay now. So like, you know, like it's just gonna stay. And then I went back into red, and then I was like, okay, fuck, I need to do all those things again. And then I did all those things again, and then I felt like a green again. But then I stopped again. Like, it was going back and forth so often till I finally, like, literally only a few months ago, got that I just need to do those things to stay in green. And everybody does something to stay in green. Like, the people who are in green have done something to be in green. Like, it's not only for me hard. I'm not the only one who has to do some things and whatever. And while the things I have to do are maybe like low-key individual, there's like a general concept which is the same for everybody. And that, fuck it, like, mums were right. We need to go outside. We can't be in the PC all day. And there's all of this bullshit to stay in green. We gotta do this. And we just have to do stuff to stay in green. And I'm so thankful I'm finally at peace with having to do stuff to stay in green. Because, oh my god, I was going back and forth for years. Seriously, for years. And I felt so shitty about it. Because I really felt like, only because I'm sick or unhealthy or traumatized, or I really felt so much resentment for having to do this stuff to be in green, because I felt like everybody else is just in green. Just like that. And it's just not the case. And yeah, I don't know. I just think it's something which isn't communicated as clearly. And that's why I thought like this. So maybe like one of those like autism moments, like nobody told me and this is how the system works. So I assumed different. And hi Pandas, how you doing? Welcome. But yeah, long story short, I'm really proud of you, Fluffy, that you're doing stuff to stay in green. This is good. Keep doing it. You had a meltdown? Oh no, why? Oh, Naradim, same. That's why I usually don't stream gaming anymore, because I feel like for 2 hours, like I don't feel like gaming anymore after 2 hours. And then I don't feel like stream is like worth anything. And I gotta complain about someone. Okay. So, what is happening now? I feel like I can't wear my glasses the entire time. So weird. I also should clean them, they're so dirty. You want to see like really dirty glasses? You see this? Ooh. So disgusting. Like 2 games is the maximum I can get out of gaming nowadays. I really feel like playing Morgana and Lux since since a week or something. Since I played Morgana and Lux bot lane with Looney, I really feel like playing Morgana and Lux bot lane again. And because after like me and Looney played that, right, like we didn't I played like 2 more games alone and I lost both of them, and with her I won both of them. Even though technically she's lower ranked than me, so I don't know. the mental support or whatever. But Lux and Morgana bot lane, oh my god, it was so much fun. I really want to play it again. But Looney started a new job, and that's why now she's like super busy right now. So I need to wait till she's like worked into it and stuff. But I really have such a big craving for playing Morgana and Lux. It's crazy. Like I was so close to actually playing League on my own yesterday. Imagine. Crazy. I'm watching Supernatural with a friend, and we're at season 2. For context, I've already watched it for up to season 6, so I kind of know the episodes anyways. He said yesterday that we will watch 1 episode today. Spoiler, we won't, because he's at work now. And we've been in a Discord for like 2 hours and played 7 days with someone else in this time. Okay. I'm like, where's the... You know, like... You set the stage. What is happening now? I mean, is that the problem? I don't think, like, I think that was like setting the stage, and the problem comes now, right? That's the only thing annoying about having the stream like this. Because I don't know if there's going to be a next message, or like when there's going to be a next message, and then there's this awkward like... The minute we started with we're watching a series, I imagine, okay, like somebody watched it without the other person. For sure, 100%, whatever. But like, why is the other one in that story? Like, is the friend now... You know? Is the friend now like jealous? Maybe? And that's why I watched it or not? Panas, we need more! We're all so hooked! Anyways, I asked him if he wants to start the episode, and he was like, no, you're playing 7 days. And I say, I don't mind, you can start anyways. Because I always watch something when I play games that don't require 100% of my attention all the time. He's like, no, I don't want to disturb you. Ah, okay. Well, I do get that he wants to actually watch it with you. Maybe, you know? Because like maybe it is okay for you to like watch something while you play, you know, but then like if it's like a watch party and he wants to actually watch it with you, and for him it's more about the like sort of like social act of watching it and then like talking about it. I think it can be like really weird to have somebody like play a game meanwhile, because maybe you won't answer his comments on the series, or you won't make any comments on the series like you usually do, you know? So I get that he wants just like your full attention maybe while watching this. Well, it's hard for people to speak up about that they want more from others, you know? Because essentially, he's probably a little bit sad that you don't want more. And he doesn't want to tell you that he wants more, because then he looks like the demanding person, you know? Because people are scared to be demanding a lot of the time. People are scared to be the ones who love more, who want more social contact, you know? So I think it's so you don't want to? Okay. So that's maybe why he don't wants to impose then. You know? Like maybe he's aware of like that you guys took so long already, so he doesn't, you know? Wait, let me describe it. I don't know if that's impose. Impose is more like, I think it's more like demand, but like different context. That's why it was 1.5 hours from me. It was literally that time. How is it that time? Like, was it like till your date arrives, or like what? How you mean that time? Time I won't be spending my date anyways. Yeah, but time you might want to spend gaming. You know? There's like more things you maybe want to do in your day than spend time with him or your date, you know? Like, this is all clear to you, but what do you think is clear to him? Like, what do you think he understood? Because it's so we're gonna use this model because I think it's going to make it easier for me to explain what I mean by this. But so this is you and this is him. This is what's like under the surface. So you don't see this, or probably won't. This is what's under the surface for you, so he won't see this, or probably won't. Like, it sort of like depends how aware people are for how much they see. And this is like above the line is the things we do see. And we do say, for example. So it's the like the obvious things we say, and the obvious like, for example, like body gesturing and stuff like this. The story around this, so the story from you about him and the story from him about you can be really different because we don't see this. And if we don't share this and clearly articulate it, we can't really fault the other person for not seeing this because we're hiding it. You know? Or like they don't know if there is something, and they just, you know, they just see this picture and all of this is below the water, so there's like no knowing how huge the iceberg is, but sometimes it's really huge. I had these misunderstandings with psychologists, with head psychologists. This is something which happens with any person. It doesn't matter how much you know each other or how skilled the other person is in communication or anything. This can happen with entirely anybody. So the picture we draw about the other person can be wrong in every case. Like, we need to know that while we do usually train through our lives to be like really good at this, there's always the possibility that we got it wrong. There's always the possibility that what we see here is actually just not the full picture and not a good implication of what is here. For example, if I feel low-key threatened or offended by something, or sad about something or whatever, I won't show, like back then, now it's a bit different, but back then I didn't show it at all. I turned off my emotion and I answered entirely logical. That other person had no idea they offended me. They had no idea there's emotions. Because I actively was hiding them. And then I was annoyed that the other person acted like there were no emotions. Like, this is nothing personal, this is just clearly only business, you know? Because I can tell you that he will be pissed if I spend my Sunday not playing Baldur's Gate 3 with him, because that's our Baldur's Gate 3 game day, and he literally tried to turn it on me that he decided to play D&D last Sunday, and that I didn't want to play Baldur's Gate 3 anymore, because it was like 8 p.m. when he returned, but rather with my date or someone else. I'm not saying this is your mistake, okay? I'm not saying you need to take responsibility for this. Don't get me wrong. Like, we're not trying to only be like he's the good person, you're being too harsh on this, okay? This is not what I'm trying to do. While I recognize that what we said about him is more positive and is more the more positive view. It's not necessarily what like has to be or anything. It's just more that the view you painted to us about him is more negative. So what we tried to sort of like put in a picture is that there is more positive options for this as well. So essentially what we're trying in this chat right now is to sort of make you aware, I guess, that the picture you have from him might not be entirely right. And the story evolving around him, why he does things, why he didn't, whatever, might not be entirely right. But it doesn't mean that you have the responsibility for this. Like, he can also be a whiny little bitch, okay? Like, I don't... Like, he can still be a whiny little bitch, and he can be too demanding and whatever. Like, that's still on the table, okay? We don't want to, like, defend this person to, like, the utmost or whatever. Like, you're definitely right. Like, we don't know him. We don't know what there's up. But I'm just saying, the picture you have of him might also not be entirely true. And this is interesting because if you act like the picture is entirely true, you push the other person to act, to respond to that, you know? Which usually, if you have a negative picture about the other person, that other person is gonna feel a certain way about this, you know? I agree with Nadim here. I would... Actually, you know what? Don't talk to me yet. Let's think this through. Because I do think there needs to be talking. But I think it's important to know what you want to talk about, to line it in like in a good direction. Because what I get from you, that there's actually many things on the table right now. Like, there's a lot of... Like, this is not only about this situation right now. That's what I'm getting. What I'm getting is that you're still low-key pissed about the Baldur's Gate 3 thing. And are like, how do you expect, like, what are your demands here? Like, what the fuck do you expect from me? And that now this to you seems like he's like sort of like pulling attention and like whining to actually then get you to give him full attention to watch the series with you. Is that right? Okay. So now we know this is a recurring pattern. And this is not about this situation, actually. But this situation is the tip of the iceberg, which brought it up again. Right? There's a lot of feelings in this room right now. Pandas, I just want to let you know that we're here to help. We don't try to blame anybody. We're trying to make sense of this situation, and from a third person perspective, there's like a lot of things we don't know, right? So this is why there's just like a lot of questions to sort of try and help you best to grasp the situation better. I have to wander into a semi-half-log in about 10 minutes because my online quest starts at 2:30. Oh, alright. Good luck, Naradim. So I feel like it's actually best to focus on you, pandas. Because okay, no. Because I feel like it could offer like a lot of clarity to actually focus on you about this. What do you specifically don't like about his behavior? Like you said, you're pissed that he's trying to blame things on me just to have the last word. Like, what are you specifically annoyed about? Are there certain fears, maybe? You know, like, is there fear, for example, of like being the bad guy? Is there maybe the feeling of not being appreciated because you do already spend so much time with him for, I don't know, because you, for example, know that he like really, you know, needs a friend right now. And he's asking for more and for more and for more. And now you're even the bad person for like not spending more time with him? Like, is there more context to this? We can Discord call, yeah. I think it's a good idea. I'm in the live channel. You can not join the live channel directly, but you can join the Voice 1 or Voice 2 channel and then I can pull you in. It's fine. We're just gonna start with basic English and we're gonna walk our way through this. It's gonna be fine. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Okay, what was the question again?
Let me just quickly fix my sound settings.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this should be fine. Hopefully. We'll see. The question was if there's like more behind it. So, because you said that you don't really give a fuck whether we play Baldur's Gate 3 each single week or not. I'm pissed that he's trying to blame things on me just to have the last word, because he always needs the last word no matter what. So what's specific?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he blames me for not spending enough time with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I told him that he said that we would watch at least one episode today. Which he tried to turn that we also said that we try to play. So he said we said we always play on Sunday. We said we try to always play on Sunday, but if something comes in between, like D&D for instance, then we can skip. Or usually like I had a handball match 2 weeks ago and then we played on Monday instead. Right?
Yeah.
So we try to play every week. Sometimes it doesn't work because like I don't know, he would get a visitor next week, so that's probably not going to work either. And I was on vacation one weekend, so that didn't work out either. But like we usually play on Sunday. What pisses me off is that he like tries to frame it against me that I just didn't want it to play on this day. Because we could have had played before it. If we look on the history, then we usually play at 6 p.m. For like 2 to 3 hours. Which is what I was kind of expecting, because like I don't know, like my D&D group usually played from like 3 hours or something. His seems to play it longer, which is fine. And I wasn't mad that we didn't play it this day because, like, yeah, I don't know, it just didn't happen. But what pisses me off is that he tries to frame it the way that we didn't play because of me, right?
Mhm.
Because
Like he was gone for
that is like,
for D&D and it was too late.
yeah, I
And
don't know, from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m.
oh damn, that's a long session. Yeah.
I mean, maybe he probably like made some food before that, but effectively we were in Discord in the morning a bit, or well, not morning, midday, because he usually sleeps until like 11 a.m. or something, and I'm like my work starts at 7, so I'm usually up rather early.
Mm.
Which also is fine, but like, and yes, in theory we could have played early. I don't remember if he is explicitly asked if we could play early. So I don't know. So I wouldn't say like it's 100% his fault that we didn't play on this day. Because again, I could have also said, okay, 8 p.m. Yeah, let's just play for like 2 or 3 hours. Like I could have done that, but if I would have done that, I probably would have been awake until like, I don't know, like, because if I stop playing at like 11 p.m., I'm usually up till until like, I don't know, midnight or something, right?
Mm.
And then I have to get up at 5, and I was just like, no, like we can like watch a series because that's usually way less engaging for me, I guess.
Mm.
So I'm not as much awake after it. Like I can get tired in the meantime. I can, like, I don't know, brush my teeth to when it comes to the end, and then just go to bed and sleep relatively quickly. If I play a game, then I can't do that.
Yeah. If you have cancelled the Sunday playing date sort of before, why is it this time a problem?
That's what I mean. It's not a problem. He tries to frame it against me so that he can kind of say, "Oh yeah, you cancelled. We also said that we play every Sunday, which we technically didn't, because before that we also didn't play every Sunday. We sometimes took the appointment and put it somewhere else, or we just completely cancelled it. And he just tries to frame it on me that last time it happened because I just didn't want to.
So it is a problem.
No,
for
he
him.
makes it a problem. He makes it a problem because he didn't mind.
But why is it a problem for him?
That's
Like,
what I mean.
why
It's
is
not
it
a
this
problem.
time? Well, for him, it
It's
apparently
not.
is a problem now.
No, he just takes it because, like, we could have done that like the last time where we said, okay, we play on Monday.
Yeah.
If that would have been a problem for him. In my opinion, he just takes it as an argument to have the last word on the matter, that he has some kind of justification that he can go back on his word that we would watch another episode today. And like, what annoys me the most is that he doesn't say, oh, I just don't want to right now, but that he somehow tries to spin it on me.
Mm-hmm. So he's essentially like using this, like, so the Sunday being cancelled wasn't an issue until today.
No.
So today he
Yes.
brought it up as sort of like, you believe, as an like excuse that he doesn't watch the series with you today.
Yes.
And you do want to watch the series today. Like you felt
Yeah, well,
like
we said
like
we
you
will
said
watch
we
like.
yeah.
No, sorry.
Like you said, like we watch like you said we're gonna watch the series today, and now you don't show up. Like what's going on, sort of.
Well, he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
He showed up. He was in the Discord call with me and the other guy I was playing 7 days with.
Yeah.
He just decided that I shouldn't be disturbed while playing 7 days, which is a nice move, I guess. So that, I mean, he kind of like wasn't demanding that we watch it now. But then I said that I don't mind because I was watching like House of Cards in the meantime, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he effectively said I don't that like he kind of invalidated my opinion on this.
What did he say?
Yeah, he basically said like I would be too distracted for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he would have said I don't want to watch now, I wouldn't have minded.
Yeah. But he sort of made it
I wouldn't have
you.
talked about it anymore. I would have
Yeah.
probably said, yeah, okay, I don't think it's all right that you effectively tell me we are watching this. So like if he would have said I don't want to watch right now, I might have said something. Yeah, okay, don't say that we will watch one episode no matter what, and then I would have let it be. But he didn't. He like always tried to somehow frame it on me why we won't be watching an episode now, which pissed me a bit off. So I was a bit more persistent in this regard. And then, because like what he is doing very often is like we played a game called Wargame Red Dragon. It doesn't really matter what the game is about, but I really enjoy playing it, and he does not so much. And I occasionally ask him if we can play Wargame Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Right. So one day he was pissed that I asked him if we could play Wargame Red Dragon again, something I enjoy playing, and told me the more often you ask me, the more likely it is that I would say no because I'm just so fed up with it. Which caused me not to ask as often anymore because, like, okay, obviously he doesn't want to play it, and I mean, I sometimes ask him, but less frequently. More when it's like when it's like more relevant in the context. Like I don't know, we are talking about something, and it goes in this direction. And ask him, like, would you mind playing again sometime soon? And I don't know. Last time he said he deinstalled the game, so I just didn't ask since then. But then again, on the other hand, he has a game he really likes to play, and I enjoy playing it. It's Magic the Gathering Arena. And I currently am a bit burnt out from Magic because I started to play again physically with real cards in like I think April. And then I played really, really much Magic, and also so with real life friends and with at my local game store, and made a lot of deck lists, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And also played a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena. So he's frequently asking, and since I've played a lot of Magic this year, I currently have like. I used to play more often with him. Currently, I have a tendency to say, look, I'm not in the mood for Magic. And what bothers me is that if I say I don't want to play Magic right now, 50% of the time he will stay persistent.
In what way persistent?
well, I say, look, I don't want to play Magic right now, and then because like it's a card game, it's like it's not that I say I don't want to play anything. It's just I don't want to play this specific game. It's like if you are fed up with League or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You just don't want to play League of Legends. You're not saying you don't want to do anything with this person. And